candidates that meet them. Join more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Get started right now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Fox. Get a $75 credit at Indeed.com/Fox. Indeed.com/Fox. Offer.
Hey, what's up, Phoenix? I'm Jeff Rich from Central City Radio Sports. Check out my show, Jeff Rich, live from Phoenix, where we take an unabridged look at the sports world with the latest from the Valley and around the country. We discuss the Suns, Cardinals, Sun Devils, Yotes, and D-backs with the best guests from local print, talk, and digital media. Find Jeff Rich live from Phoenix on CentralCityRadio.com and the Central City Radio app.
This is the Valley's news, talk, and podcasts. Talk Central Phoenix, a Central City radio station.
Welcome, people. I really mean welcome. I mean the highest welcome to Crazy Positive Vibes with me, Durrell Hearns. I'm your host for today. Hope you're staying powerful, staying great, staying awesome, because that's what it's all about. And if you haven't gotten your copy of this beautiful book right here, it is Johnny's of a Crazy Veteran. It is Johnny's of a Crazy Veteran. It is about my struggle with mental health and how I went through my journal, personally went through my journal, and saw where it told me where a lot of things were off with my stuff. You know, people were always telling me, you're kind of crazy, you're kind of weird, man, you're kind of different. I was like, nah, man, I'm normal. It's normal to have PTSD flashbacks in the middle of the day. It's normal to do that stuff. Wow. Yeah.
How long were you in the military?
Man, I was in for 8 years.
Oh, yeah.
But let me finish this. I got you. So, went through all that, went through the journal, saw I was talking to myself in third person, which is a symptom of dissociative disorder. So, really had to write that down because my mission in life is to help other people and hope this helps veterans. So, definitely, this book, it's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can get, like, anywhere. You can really go to any bookstore and just, like, go to that front desk, say, I want Crazy Positive Vibes by Durrell Hearns right now. And they'll be like, okay, we'll order it for you. How many copies you want? But that's plug for the book. But today, and I really mean today, I mean, wonderful, wonderful day of the day. I have a great guest. Really awesome dude, man. He's a comedian. This dude's been, Oakland, Vegas, all over the world, man. You said Norfolk, right?
Yeah,
Norfolk. Traveling all over doing comedy, man. So this dude's a beast. I want y'all to show some love for Louis Bruce, y'all.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing, man? What's up, man? I'm glad to be here. Shout out to Durrell Hearns for having me. And make sure y'all get the book. You know, I can relate to some of what he was talking about. We'll get to that, you know, as we deal in this interview right here, man. Just glad to be here, man.
Right.
You know,
man.
it was kind of rough. I literally, since I've been in Arizona, this phone has been my best friend to get me around. Like,
I understand that.
If the GPS is a little off, I'm lost.
Oh,
so
man.
I just been relying on GPS, man. Like, I got here. And I'm like, yo, this is like a residential area, man. I'm gonna make sure, because that's what you don't want to do, right? You don't want to be in the wrong spot, man. So I'm here. I'm in the studio, man. You know, shout out to the whole, what is it, Central City Radio?
Central City Radio.
Central City Radio, man. Much love.
They have the app and everything, so check that out. But yeah, Central City Radio.
Indeed.
It seemed to be really awesome with you, so you might be end up getting the show soon. We'll see.
Hey, man, we'll see, man. Yeah, I'm with it, man. I'm just, hungry, man.
Cool, man. So, like, you said you was in the military, right? What branch?
I was in the United States Navy.
The Navy.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I did a one term. That was the plan. And I didn't understand the law of attraction back then. Okay. But every day I would say that I'm only gonna do 3 years. And I was only able to do 3 years.
Really?
Yeah. I was a knucklehead, man.
Oh man.
Fish out of water. You know, I had never left California.
Oh.
You know, I joined, like, I was out of high school a year, and then a buddy of mine was like, yo, man, you can join the military and they can't fire you. I was like, well, where do I sign up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I went into, you go in the office, get recruited.
Right.
I was already recruited. I was like, where do I sign? What's up, man? Like, hey, the ASVAB test, I just was like this. I was just writing down the answers on the ASVAB. I didn't even care Like I got like a 40. I think I got like a 40 of the ASVAB.
Really?
I didn't even dial in and try to remember that stuff. I like whatever, just get me to the boat or whatever I had to go to, man. But it was cool, man. I made a lot of friends. Mm-hmm. You know, I still keep in touch with a lot of them today, man. You know, when I wasn't doing comedy back then. Matter of fact, that wasn't even on my radar. I was just trying to get by. I was just trying to, you know, because I didn't go to college, didn't have a plan after that. So this was like my plan. And then when it didn't work out, I found myself back in California. Really? That's where I discovered comedy at. Yeah.
California.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Sacramento, to be exact.
Sacramento. Okay. I said Oakland.
Northern California.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's right there. Oakland's right there. I've never done comedy in Oakland, but it's right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that's a big thing out there. I don't want to, get
man, come on with it.
Calls.
Right. Hey, I was arguing with a dude, not really arguing with him, but he got offended because he lives in a place called Fairfield.
Okay.
And Fairfield to Sacramento was kind of like Phoenix to Glendale.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. So he was back. I was like, whatever, dude, whatever, man. I guess it's changed since I've been there because, I mean, you know, California's growing, but everybody's spilling over because it's so expensive. Shit, I think gas is like $25 a gallon.
Wow.
I'm capping, but I'm just saying it's getting that bad.
Oh, damn, man. It could be 25 soon.
Man. It's crazy.
But enough about that. What was your job, I guess, while you're in?
Engineering,
my man.
Oddly enough, because I suck at math. Like, I mean, I don't know how the Air Force works, but in the Navy, you know, if you score a certain amount on the ASVAB, you're allowed to pick a school.
Yeah.
But if you got what I got, a 40, they send you pretty much like, they give you 3 choices. Say you want to be a fireman, airman, or a seaman. And so I was like, I can fight fires. I'll be a fireman.
Right.
I'm thinking that's what it was, right? So I went through boot camp and I went through the apprenticeship trainings for firefighting. But then they put me on a boat in the engine room.
Really?
And the ship was steam powered. So
wow,
hot was the order of the day. Like if you didn't walk by a vent, you was sweating. Like it was crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
So needless to say, I was having problems adjusting to that life because I was in and out. Like they would assign us work, I'd work for a second and disappear. You know, they call it skating where I'm at. I don't know what they call it when the guy just not really working.
Oh yeah,
skating. I was a major dude. I was a major skater. Major skater. Like I was not having it, bro.
My man was roller skating. I got
yeah, man.
Good at it.
Well, hell yeah, man. You know, I went before the captain about 5 times. You know, so needless to say, I was a problem.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So I got when it was all said and done, I got a other than honorable discharge.
Oh,
I didn't get the honorable. I only had 2 weeks left. And I had 2 weeks left.
Yeah.
And I was kind of cleaning myself up, you know, getting it together. And one day while we were cleaning our living quarters, I went to go buy a soda.
Yeah.
You know, and when I went to go buy a soda, I took the long route. I started talking to some friends.
Oh yeah.
And then next you know, an hour later I showed back up and the guy was like, "Where were you? You were UA, unauthorized absence." So he started using that language. I'm like, "UA, what do you mean? I just went to go get a soda." Like, you were gone for an hour. Wrote me up. And I was already in trouble at that time when I got wrote up.
Yeah.
So I got sent to the captain, and the captain was from California. I thought he was going to hook me up. I'm like, oh, he's cool. He's like, man, look. He said, you're going to finish this time out, but you're not getting honorable discharge. So I got out, you know, and I took a Greyhound from Norfolk, Virginia to Sacramento.
A Greyhound?
A Greyhound. Couldn't even get a plane ticket because it was too high. I couldn't get it. I had to do that.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, man. I was on my David Banner.
Oh, yeah, man.
I had threw my bag on the back, walked down the highway, and I ended up back in California, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man. Ooh. Was that rough on the Greyhound doing that?
Let me tell you, yo. At first, you know what? Only thing it was because my boat was out to sea when I got out, right? Mm-hmm. So the helicopter flew us to the North Carolina.
Okay.
And so when we got to North Carolina, they just pretty much put us in the van and sent us back to the base.
Yeah.
And then you on your own. So when I got back to the base, I went and got a room for a couple of days. And I had a girl out there, and she was like, you can stay here, and, you know, you can just do what you got to do. I was like, well, damn, I might be living in Norfolk, right? So lo and behold, over a few days, I found out her house was a weed spot. Oh. So I was like, nah, this is the, you know, now we call it the trap house.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm good. So I woke up one night, gathered my stuff up, and then looked back. You know what I'm saying? And then I went, got on the Greyhound. I went, got me a Greyhound ticket, got on the Greyhound. And the cold part about it, and I regret this to this day, man, I threw my uniform in the trash in the hotel room I was in, the motel room.
Yeah.
And I had they take your sea bag when you don't get out. They take your bag that you bring in to carry stuff. So I had a suit bag.
Yeah.
Like a garment bag, you know what I'm saying, to carry a suit. That's where all my stuff was in.
Yeah.
So I got to Tennessee, and I was getting ready. I don't know what I was doing. I think we were transferring buses.
Okay.
And I got my stuff off the bus, and as I was pulling the bag off the bus, all my clothes just spilled out. Oh. I was like, oh, why? It all hit me that, you just got kicked out of the military and you on your way home. Like, yo, man. But I got home, man, and regrouped, man, got home, got a job, and was back into it, man, and just started living my life, man, because I was like, yeah, you can't beat yourself up. Failure happens. At that time I didn't know that. It's not, but then it's not the end of the world.
Right.
The main thing is to keep on going. You know what I'm saying? That's for anybody, man.
Heck yeah.
Do you and keep going, man. Don't ever let a setback stop you from going forward.
No, never. Keep it positive, keep it growing, man.
Hell
I love
yeah.
that. I
Hell yeah.
agree wholeheartedly. That's yeah. Failure will hit you, but
many more came, but it was that one.
Yeah,
that was like my first big one. For that, I was like, yo, suck it up. Yeah. Went home for a minute, with moms, and then I moved out, and then I didn't look back. I ain't been back in. I left her house, and I was like 19 or 20.
Really?
I haven't had to stay with her yet.
Yeah, that's smart, bro.
Heck yeah.
It's good. You're just gonna lean on yourself, being yourself. And I like that.
Yeah.
So, what got you into stand-up comedy?
Well, when I got back to Sacramento, my cousin, rest in peace, he was a DJ at a local radio station, and he was on the hip hop scene, and he was like, "Check me out, man, on the radio." Kind of like this, but a little more. They had a tower.
Okay.
So they were broadcast through the car radio and stuff like that.
I got you. Fam.
So now this is like 1997, so it wasn't really a lot of technology back then. You know what I'm saying? So they used to play Minister Farrakhan every day.
Oh wow.
After his radio program, the minister would come on, and I was listening to this dude. Like, I had heard of him, because one of my best friends went to the Million Man March in 1995. And I was in Israel when that happened.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, what's going down in America? Is a revolution happening? I didn't know what to think. I'm thinking, I'm green to it. So I joined. To make a long story short, I ended up going down there and hearing it, and I joined. And one day in our men's class, they let the men all get up to the front of the mic. I had never done a microphone.
Yeah.
I was never that guy. Like, people always say in school, they were the class clown. Like, my class clown was, like, subtle. Like, I would say stuff from the back of the room. Like, I wasn't like that guy to just, like, we roast every now and then and that type of thing. But I wasn't the class clown, so it was a total switch gear. But they let me get on the microphone. And I just stand in front of all these men, I'm talking. I'm like, yo, that felt good, man. But it was still like not dawning on me about comedy.
Right.
So I thought maybe I would be a minister or something like that. So, a couple years later, I had, me and my girlfriend was sitting at home, and one of my things I started really getting into was Comedy View.
Comedy View, okay.
Yeah, I watched every episode I could watch, just watching it because it was funny.
Heck yeah.
And then they started doing this thing, where they would do like the best of series.
Okay.
Like they would show every comedian per topic.
Okay.
Like they would talk about being broke or child support or drinking, and they just go down the line of different comedians' perspective. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, I think I could do that. You know what I'm saying? I think I could do that. So, and it's funny that I'm saying that because next weekend I'll be working with one of the comedians I used to see a lot of, Steve Brown.
Wow.
Steve Brown was like a regular on Comedy View.
Really?
He was like on every episode. This dude, and I remember watching him at that time.
Yeah.
And so now on the 20th, God willing, we're going to be doing that show in Chandler.
That's awesome, bro.
So that's like full circle for me. I'm trying not to be starstruck, you know what I'm saying? But it's all love, man. But like, I went down to the comedy club because I asked a friend of mine. I was like, yo, man, where's the comedy club? And I didn't really know about it in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And he was like, talk to Esau McGraw. Shout out to him. He's a comedian. He's in L.A. You heard the name before?
Oh, yeah. Heard of
him. That's my big bro right there. I've been knowing him a long time. But he was already doing comedy, and he had already moved to L.A. So I called him, and he sent me to a spot there was a poetry spot.
Okay.
You know, so that's why I always got love for poets, man, because they gave us love when at that time it wasn't a lot of shows like it was. Like you either had to go to the comedy club or one or two comedians may have had a show you can get on, and it was open mic.
Okay.
So I was watching that Laughs Unlimited, you know, seeing these guys, like, oh, these guys, man, I can do that. I'm not, you know. And then I met some of the comedians, and then I got directed to a poetry spot, which is still going, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, this is around 2001. 2002, 2001.
Right.
This was the year the Lakers and the Kings were playing conference finals.
Yeah.
So I went down there, man, and I didn't really have no jokes. I was just trying to freestyle it, and then just hanging around the comedians, man, just learning about how to do it. And then, you know, we started doing more and more shows, and then life happened.
Life happened?
Life happened. The girl I was with, she broke up with me, and I had to move on, man, and find somewhere to stay. So I had to get a job. I had got 2 jobs at that point, and I counted went out the window, working 2 jobs. So I didn't do comedy for like another 6-7 years.
Okay.
So fast forward, I had a daughter and got married, and then I moved to Vegas.
Yeah.
And got that bug again. You know what I'm saying? And so I started looking online at this time for where's this places to go. And there was a open mic on the Air Force Base.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
which one?
What is that called? Damn it.
That's all good.
Vegas. Damn, I should know this. Nellis. That part.
Yeah. I've been there a few times.
Right. There was a black group, almost like a Black Chamber of Commerce on base.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they hosted an open mic every month, and so I started going down there, getting my chops, man. Like, okay, all right, I'm getting good, and then I hit the comedy scene.
Okay.
Now people understand there's a difference between open mic and the comedy scene.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I went to the comedy scene, and then I met all the comedians. And then I just was grinding like I'm doing now, on the bus, getting the shows, going around town.
That's smart.
And then I messed around and started getting booked in the comedy clubs.
Really?
Yeah, I did Big Al's Comedy Club. I did the Laugh Factory, just doing stuff, man. Just, you know, so it's been a great journey, man. I've come down here a few years ago before I moved here.
Yeah.
And I did some of shout out to Bobby Johnson, did some of his shows.
Yeah. Shout out to Bobby.
And, met some of the comics out here from that time. And then some of them would come to Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, so I had been looking at Arizona. But, you know, my children were already here. So when I moved here, I just was like, hey, I know there's a scene down here. Let me get in it.
Right.
So here I am.
Yeah, that's powerful, man. That's a great journey, it sounds like.
Super duper. Yeah.
Were there like a lot of failures on that? Or?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, back in the early days, like this is why the break room kind of takes me back. Because there was a room like that in Sacramento that was called Cheers back in the day.
Okay.
And the cool part about it, like their pool table was like right near the stage.
Oh.
Like this is the pool table.
Yeah.
You right here telling jokes.
Oh.
And so depending on how your set was going, the game would break up if you were funny.
Yeah.
But if not, they kept playing.
It was it.
So there were many nights like they slapped McDonald's at the table. They shooting pool.
Yeah.
And this is like when I first saw Lunell. I don't know if you know who Lunell is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Lunell she started out in Oakland. She would come to Sacramento and do stuff.
Uh-huh.
And one of them nights we was all taking it to the face. Everybody. One comic got booed to his face.
Ooh.
Like this is another young guy. Like he was like right there. The guy just came right there and just stood at him like, boo. And then Linnell tamed that room, man. And from that moment, you know, you learn, but you didn't apply it yet. Like, okay, you got to be yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, nah, forget writing jokes. I mean, you write jokes, but don't make it like you wrote jokes. Like, it has to be like something you've been conversating with, you know. So that was that. And then when I broke up, really the reason why I broke up with my girl because I thought I was gonna get paid automatically. I had stopped working and was just going to open mic like this is it right here, man. So I wasn't making no money, man. So bills is due. So you know, me and her fell out and we didn't vibe no more, you know. But I really haven't. I won't say I had any major bombs. Like I haven't had any really disasters. I've had a lot of bad shows. But one thing I've always tried to do was just stay humble every show. Whether I kill or not, stay humble because as soon as you get out of your ego, man, that's when that bad show come.
Ooh.
As soon as you think I got this, I'm good. That's that show come, man. That show, that show that humbles you, you know. So man.
I understand that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And, what kind of kept you? What helped you learn that in the end? What helped you like kind of
practice, trial and error?
Okay.
You know, and then also seeing other comedians. Like I used to watch a lot of comics, ones that make me laugh. I watch them and see, like, I still do this to this day. Like, before I go on stage, like, I'll sit in the crowd and kind of listen, see what the crowd is responding to.
Right.
What direction we trying to take this show. Do they want to hear a lot of dirty? Do they mind if because I try to inject a message every now and then,
I understand that.
And I try to say stuff that'll make you reflect, like when I talk about breakups, that's real.
Whoa.
Been there. I've been married twice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And both times was kind of the same scenario. So I can give that understanding in a lesson form rather than being bitter. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll laugh about it. Like, yeah, she did try to put me out after we paid rent.
Oh, man.
Like, no, we paid rent. We got days left. We ain't broke up yet. Not till the lease is up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's just like, just life experience, man. Just, doing that. And then I dated somebody one time that was in the comedy scene. Well, she was like a quote-unquote promoter.
Oh, okay.
And that was a failure because at first we were rocking. I mean, because she was trying to show me, how to navigate on the business side, like, interacting with comedians and being, that person. And, always, just stuff she would do. Take pictures at my shows.
Right.
And just, give me critique from the audience. But one day we did a show. We decided, because she was a hairstylist, we decided to do a show in her shop.
Okay.
And we had sold some tickets, and she was going to also do a presentation for her hair care. And we did the show. I did my thing, but she came to me and was like, "Let me holler at you for a second."
Oh no!
Look, we didn't make money. I was like, "You really? We live together. What are you doing?"
All right.
So I felt some type of way, and then she felt some type of way, and then we just broke up. And I was like, "Man, that was a cold business venture, but it didn't go right."
Right.
So
yeah,
it's a fine line mixing business with pleasure. That's what I tell anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Business and personal. You do not mix those one
it's
bit.
A fine line if you don't
at
do
all. Nah, man.
Hell
you
yeah.
have somebody else handle that business.
Right.
Yeah, man. And even then, there are people out there that will try to mess you over with the money. So
yeah.
Have you been, other than that experience you told us about, what was another one you felt like has that really happened with you in comedy, like so far? Or?
Good or bad?
Well, I mean, okay, good and bad.
Well, good with her, because and this is kind of how I got the Chandler show just now. Like, every now and then a promoter will come into the group and say, "Hey, we're looking for comedians." And I'm the guy I'll answer right up front, like, "Hey, right. I'm down. What's up?" Like, when you put that message out there,
yeah,
I'm on it, because, I mean, why would we miss the opportunity to display?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hey, so I reached out to the person, and come to find out that my girl at the time, the host kind of liked her. He tried to talk to her a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, well, why don't you ask him, or let him know a comedian that can open, because this is the thing. Cat Williams came to Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Cat Williams came to Vegas, and one of the things he does, I don't know if he does it in every city, but he did it there. He was looking for some openers from the scene.
Oh.
So I'm thinking Cat Williams. Pearl Theater, and the holds like 3,000 people.
Wow.
And he sold out that place. Matter of fact, he sold it out. So I'm looking at the other comedians. Oh, what's the budget? Oh, how much you paying? Oh, so he does that psychologically to see
who's gonna be
who's the comedian that's only for the money, or who's really about the comedy life, right?
Right.
So she reached out to the host, and then I was coming home from work one day, and my phone had died or something. She couldn't reach me, so she sent a comedian to my house to meet me when I got there. And he was like, "Dude, you got to get dressed. The show starts in 45 minutes. I'm like, "What show are you talking about?" Because I'm thinking she didn't come through. I'm thinking, okay, whatever. No, you opening for Cat Williams. Like, what?
Oh, damn.
I was like, I'm opening for Cat Williams. He put me on the phone with my girl at the time. And she said, "Yeah, I talked to him. It's good. You got to get down there."
Oh, wow.
So we lived luckily I lived about 10 to 15 minutes away.
So he was good.
So I ran in the house, took a bird bath, put on some clothes, man. And I got down there, and then the host, shout out to Big Weezy. I don't know if you're going to see it, but he's in L.A., man.
Oh, yeah,
Big Weezy.
I know Weezy, yeah.
You know Big Weezy? That's my guy, man. Big Weezy was like, you get 10 minutes, no light. So you got to do 10 minutes. You got to know when to get off, right?
Yeah, that's a challenge.
Right, man. So my thing was, I'm just sitting back watching him work that crowd and do his thing. And then Cat comes in, and Cat thought I was security because I had on all black.
Oh, okay.
So he started talking to me about how's the crowd. And I'm like, oh, it's cool, man. You know, they did. I hope I'm laughing. You know, not even really. I didn't really capitalize on that moment like I should have. Here's the thing. So I went and did my thing. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you ever experienced this when you're in the crowd killing.
Okay.
And your naysayers are in that crowd.
Oh,
that's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
Because it was all the talk on Facebook the next day. Louis was this and that. He killed it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm like, these are the same people that say I ain't funny. Okay,
right.
That's cool. It's all good. I'm going to take the love. I appreciate it. You know, but I didn't hang out after the show. That's the one thing I do regret I didn't do.
Okay.
Because I had to be at work at like 6.
Right.
The next morning, it was like 11:30 when we got done.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? So I jetted home. But the other guy, he hung around and Cat shot him $500.
Really?
So he was paying the openers. He didn't say that on the message out on Facebook.
Nah.
But once we got done, he cashed everybody out, and I missed my money. I was like, God dang it.
Man.
I was like, you know what, though? I got 3,000 people, man. That was a good experience.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, you know, like I said, they can't take that away from you.
You can't, man.
So I was like, that was cool, man. But it was fun. It was fun, man. Just the laughs coming back in such a volume.
Yeah.
Like, wow. You can't even, that's what it makes it all worth it. When you get all those people laughing at your jokes, like, wow, man. Mm-hmm. I couldn't believe it, man. It was a great moment. That was, I think, 2016. Yeah, 2016.
Really?
Yeah.
So like fairly recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in Vegas. So.
Right, in Vegas. Yeah.
That's cool, bro. And is that kind of what you try to make happen again? Kind of your whole comedy career, is that kind of what you're?
I don't know. At this point, man.
What's your mission? How about that?
Well, I want to reach as many people as I can. And, you know, I understand. I'm 46, so I'm realistic. You know, I'm on the other side of the hill. So, you know, I'm not putting my eggs all the way in like that.
Right.
But I am going to do what I can, you know. And like I said, and you asked me what my message was, just be myself and let's see where that takes me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to play a lot of games. I want to just be who I am.
Yeah. And
be allowed to be that. You know, so far the shows I've been on has been that. You know, there's no, because a lot of times you feel like it's like an audition even when you're not on stage.
Right.
Like you have to move a certain way.
Yeah.
And then you got gatekeepers and all that type of stuff. I'm cool with that. You know, I understand the nature of the business, but I do want to be myself. So, you know, wherever that takes me. You know, I do want to do comedy full time. I'm not doing it full time right now, but I do want to do it full time. And I do want to make a living off of it, a nice, healthy living.
A nice, healthy living, of course. I understand that, man.
Indeed.
What's kind of your process for, just comedy in general? Jokes, comedy, jokes, stuff like that. I just
vibe off stuff, man. Like, I used to, go home and write stuff down, but now as I go throughout the day, I'll jot stuff down and then add stuff to it and then work it out. You know, you got to work it out. You can write a joke all day. Look, if you don't get on stage and try it out, it's just what it is. It's just a joke on paper.
Right.
So I always try to implement, during my sets, something new.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Even if I was told when I first started, never start to set off with a new joke, but I will sometimes because otherwise I won't remember.
Right.
I want to get it out of there and see what happens, you know, and try to add on to it as needed. But, you know, if I see something funny, I'll write it down, or if I have a funny idea. I was just, the other day, I was just thinking about me and the guy at work, brother, right?
Uh-huh.
And we work with a bunch of Latinos, or natives, rather.
Oh, natives, okay.
So me and him, we were making eye contact about something. And I was like, you ever notice black people, we know how to talk with our eyes?
Yep.
We got looks, man. Everybody got looks, but nobody got looks like black people.
Nope.
Don't do that. We know our look based on how we look at each other. Oh man, this thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So I wrote it down, man. I had to write it down immediately, though. You know what I'm saying? I just put it on my phone, the little notebook app.
Yeah.
I'll either speak it or type it, whatever I got the opportunity to do. I'll just say it, type text it, and then I'll put it away and then add on to it later.
Yeah. That's some good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I like that, man. So that's, and just having the guts to get that new joke out there about being scared.
Oh, yeah.
You know, always, this is my viewpoint of comedy and just even comedy shows. You're showcasing talent. Mm-hmm. That's really what it is. You're showing art pieces.
Right.
I like this one. I like this one.
Right.
You know, that's that was my mindset as a booker when I started out here. And, you know, the fact that you're fearlessly doing new stuff and putting that out there. That's, I don't know,
Chris Rock said a joke is never finished.
It isn't.
That's what I heard. So, even if you have, it may lead to another idea. So if you stick to just one joke without building on it, you'll never know where you can go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what I just try to do and have fun. Have fun in the process because, the audience can pick up your energy.
Right.
They can tell when you're having fun. Yeah. Even when you're not doing your best, if they know you're having a good time, they're going to vibe with you.
They're going to engage.
Yeah, and then you focus on the people that's laughing. Right. Like you said, the other night, we did that room.
Yeah,
everybody not going to pay attention because the environment is not for that.
No,
You got bar, you got food.
There was a football game.
Football game on. You got pool tables. It's a lot of distractions. Like we're in a room like this.
Oh, yeah.
There's nowhere they can go, but you got everything going on. That's why I was kind of really glad I moved to Vegas because it gave us all types of scenarios.
Okay.
The main thing, like a place like the break room or places like El Charro.
Yeah.
There's going to be slot machines in there.
Oh, okay.
So you got people gambling while you're on stage.
Oh, so you're going to be hearing that.
If you can get them to laugh, you got some material.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Because they'll turn their back on you and play their game and be into that.
Yeah.
So, if you can get them to break away from playing that and then laughing at you, you got something to go with.
That's what it is. Man.
Yeah.
Is that, do you have like a high expectation each show? Like, does that kind of, or do you like keep it like,
I keep it even, man. I just keep it even, man. Like, honestly, bro, we keep talking about the break room. That's the last place I seen you at.
Oh yeah.
But shout out to that room too. I'm glad
really
I found that room, man.
Yeah,
like I say, it reminded me of when I first started.
Yeah, shout out to
like
T.
That. Yeah,
and Belly B, man.
Belly B and T, yes sir.
Yeah.
Really, I would say this too because the other rooms have been outside. Like that was a different thing. When I came to Arizona, like they have outdoor mics.
Right.
I was like, wow, that's different, because you hear comedians a lot of times they don't like doing comedy outside, but like out here we ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
Either that or don't get no stage time. So, or you can find your way into the clubs, which is coming. But the thing is, what was I saying? Wait, put me back on track. I lost my track. Hold on.
We were talking about expectation. And he said break room. Then we shout out.
I've
been doing that too. That's
here's the thing. When I first started doing comedy in Vegas, a lot of times I would go first.
Okay.
By default, not because I wanted to.
By default.
Because if you even ever go to any open mic or any showcase, everybody leaves that one spot open.
Right.
I've seen it, bro. I've seen people like go 8 lines down to keep from being first.
Wow.
And then there were times I had to go first, so I just got kind of used to it.
Yeah.
I just looked at it from another perspective. Hey, if I go up first, I get to go home early.
Yeah.
So, it's beats sitting there till 11, 12 o'clock waiting to go up when the crowd is tired, get them fresh. So I don't mind. Because I'll say that because the last 2 times I've been to the break room, I was the first comic.
Oh.
And I was okay with that. Like, whether I go first or last, I'm with whatever. So, the main thing is to listen to the audience, even if you're not going up first, while the other comedians is up there. Look at the audience's vibe. Because a lot of times it's not you.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? It's not you. It's just that it's been 18 comedians and you're number 19 talking about how you doing.
No.
What do you mean how I'm doing? I really want to leave, but I don't want nobody to talk about me. So I'm going to stay here and pretend like you funny. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not always your fault. You might have a hidden killer set, but because the crowd has already been hit with a bunch of killer comedians, then you just like, okay.
Well, you're another person. That's good.
Like, can we cuss in the show? Yeah, can we? Oh, okay. I don't want to be like cuss, but like,
you can drop one.
It's like if you have a girl, if you had a girl that slept with like 5 dudes that day.
Yeah. By
the time she get to the 5th dude, it's not gonna be the same energy as when she's with the first dude.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Not encouraging thoughts out there, but I'm just saying like. If that, like, if that's what you do, you understand what I'm talking about.
That's not the realest metaphor that's been ever said on this show about anything.
I'm just saying, right? Am I right though? Yeah, I've been with multiple women in one day.
Right.
That first girl gets it, man, but that third girl, you be like, you can kind of mail it in. You know what I'm saying? You really don't give your full effort because you already been pleasured earlier.
My man, mailing it in. That's hilarious. That's hilarious, man. That's good, bro.
For real, man. Hell yeah, man.
With that, so you said basically, it's don't take it personal.
Right.
Did that take you like?
Right. It's easier said than done. I get it. Some days it will get to you.
Yeah.
But for the most part, man, just go in there, have a good time, man, and give them the show that you know you can give them.
Right.
Like I heard one of my guys, one of my big bros in comedy, Mikey Winfield, he was on a podcast. He was alluding to the fact that, he's been doing this such a long time. When he goes into a show, it's not if I'm going to be funny. It's just a matter of when I'm going to be funny.
Okay.
Like if you know you're funny, you've been successful.
Right.
You don't worry about that no more. You move on to something else now. Okay, now I'm moving on to how do I want to give this to the crowd?
Yeah.
Do I want to give them all of my energy? Or do I want to start or build? I learned. I don't know if are you familiar with Scientology?
A little bit, yeah.
I've been. They have a class because they do classes. They always try to get you with classes.
Okay.
Before they try to make you be a member, but
okay.
There was this class that has helped me too. It was the emotional tone scale.
Okay.
And it's geared towards public speaking. Like when you go into a room, or really any kind of conversation, you always want to match that person's energy and guide them where you want them to go. Like if they're kind of mellow, you can start off mellow, but if you're trying to get them here, you got to build it up.
Right.
Or if you want to bring them down, bring it down. There's a science to it rather than just going on. A lot of times comedians come up there high energy and the crowd is like, I ain't trying to be that right there. So then your set goes another direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that emotional tone scale, it starts off, low to high. There's different points in between. And I kind of took that and applied it to the stage time, and it worked out. And then I became an avid reader. How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Okay, yeah,
that's a good book. Yeah, I mean that's why I'm here, man, because I've been checking you out, bro. Like,
thanks, man.
Like you do a joke about God. I think it's about God.
Which one?
It's kind of like your opener sometimes.
God?
Wait. Is it God? I'm trying to remember that joke.
Black Panther. I got.
I know the Black Panther one. It's another one you do.
It's probably one I did like once a while back.
I was trying to find it today on Facebook. That's what really got you on my radar. I'm like, okay, he's different. He ain't writing different. I like comedians that write different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I can see that. It's not the normal. Yeah. So hey man, these bitches be tripping, man. Right. It ain't that. It's some real thought provoking. Okay, I can dig it.
Thanks, man.
But and then your memes. Like I do that too. Like I remember back in the day they used to try to clown like, are you gonna be a preacher or a comedian? Because I like to throw inspiration in there. There's nothing wrong with that. Even like I heard even like rappers like Ice-T said that like he was a gangster rapper, but he always tried to show you the pros and the cons.
Right.
In the song, while you groove into the beat, there's a message there. Hey, this ain't the way to go. I went there, but this ain't the way to go.
Right.
So I just got to do that, man. So that's just been I've been on that for a while. Like. I haven't even thought about maybe, if I have to transition or if I could, I'm open to it, motivational speaking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, my story, I believe, is unique.
It is.
I had a stroke in 2017.
Really?
Yeah, I was a little bigger than this.
Okay. Damn.
I had got as far down as 225.
Okay.
I gained it back, but that's another story.
Another story.
But really, this from weight loss. It's really a mental thing.
It is.
Everybody runs to the gym, pumping. That's like a small portion of the battle.
Yes.
If you can get your thoughts in control and the plate and your portion control, that's where the weight loss really gets.
Oh,
yeah. So I had a stroke and I got sick and I got out and I was losing weight, working out, and again that mental battle.
Yeah.
That mental battle was a mother, man. I lost a little bit. I was down to 36 waist.
Yeah.
I was feeling good about it. I hadn't been this small since I was in the Navy. I was like, golly, I was on my way. Matter of fact, my headshots is from that era. I got to get some more.
Okay, yeah, but I saw those ones.
yeah. I had lost weight, man. I was doing my thing, and then I messed around and got sidetracked. So but the thing is, that's a part of my story because I was really literally on my deathbed.
Really?
Because I'm in Vegas, they always want to call you next of kin, and no one there knew who my next of kin was.
Wow.
So they were going to pull the plug. It was either that or that. And by chance, my ex-wife who lives here with my children, she happened to be in Vegas, And I don't know if she saw the message or something, so she reached out, and they were able to contact my mom. And my mom said, "No, we gonna do what we gotta do to save him."
Wow.
So they brought me back. So that was that time frame. So literally, like right before the pandemic, I started getting back on stage.
Oh, really?
Because I was worried about it because my diction wasn't the same. I was always proud of myself being articulate.
Right.
And that stroke kind of took away from it. You know what I'm saying? So I was hesitant to get back on stage, and I was watching people do their thing. I'm like, I'm gonna get back. I got back on there, and I've been going ever since. But it was a hell of a journey.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
That was, dang. No, we should have led with that. That's a good.
I try not to. No, because here's the thing. Because a lot of times what I found when I was getting back on stage, like if I led off with that, I could do no wrong after the set.
Right.
Everything I said was laughter. I was like, I like that, but I don't want to lean on that. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say it and then put it out there. Because, it's crazy how society looks at like high blood pressure and stuff like that. They look at it as like, oh, that's that. They don't look at it as it's a real disease.
Right.
Like we've seen it, man. People that go to the gym pass away like that.
Yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan. Who else? Old Dirty Bastard. A lot of different people that weren't overweight necessarily.
Right.
But they had those internal things going on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, stress. Like a lot of stress.
Man. And no cap, black people have more stress than anybody.
Ooh, man.
And I'm going to just not play the race card, but just keep it honest.
Let's keep it honest.
Every black person has a work personality and a home personality.
Oh, yeah.
We can never really fully be ourselves on a day-to-day basis. That's why I say my message is be you.
Be you, yes.
Because if you be you, the right people will be your tribe. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you try to be somebody you're not, then you're going to attract the wrong people in your life.
Very wrong people.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, and that's one of our unfortunate things, man. We can never really truly be ourselves a lot of times because we get judged by that.
Yeah.
And then people respond and react that way, So I just try to just be myself and stay out the way.
Dang, that's powerful, man. Being yourself. And that's really being authentic, the authentic you. You're going to attract the right people.
That part.
Going to the right levels, and and you're right, the right tribe, people that will actually push you,
right,
and not trying to pull you down,
or discourage you, or sidestep you.
Nah,
yeah.
So that's powerful, man, and is that kind of what kept you like you? I see you as successful, so like real
Thank
stuff.
You.
I've seen you like you. I did some research. I'm like, this dude's been doing this and that. Then you said the Cat Williams story. Didn't know about that one. So, shit, is that kind of what's kept you like in that vibe?
Right.
Achieving that.
Here's the thing, man. Like I feel like I've come to a point in my life, like when you find yourself being successful at something, keep doing it. Okay. We jump around. I've jumped around a lot.
Yeah.
And it's because I've never really had anybody to just say keep going. Mm-hmm. I've had it, but I haven't had it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if somebody had plucked me out of high school, it would have saved a lot of time and trouble in the class.
Okay.
Like, I've heard people like, I think it was Rodney Perry, and even Martin Lawrence, in elementary school or whatever, the teacher allowed them to, to kind of crack jokes because they were going to do it anyway. Mm-hmm. So they gave them that platform. So I didn't learn about comedy as a route until I was already an adult.
Oh.
Because you never really, but back then, you seen Eddie Murphy, you seen Richard Pryor, you seen these guys, but you never really seen like, okay, can I do that?
Right.
You never really had that, exposure.
Right.
But, like I said, watching Comic View, you was seeing regular dudes get up there and tell jokes, man. I remember Little Rail was on Comic View.
Wow.
Little Rail, like, he had a headband on and jersey. He was a young dude. Now look at him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He was started out young, though.
Yeah.
Shit, Dave Chappelle was 16.
Really?
When he started doing comedy.
Dang.
Now it looked like second nature.
Yeah.
It's so easy to him, So it's like crazy, man. Like a lot of these guys started out young, You know what I mean? I started out young, but I stopped. But I'm not going to let that hold me back. I'm just going to keep on going, just keep on hitting these mics, hitting these stages, and it's showing improvement when I get there.
Yeah, and somebody always tells me this, because I'm one of those guys, and I'm like, maybe I started this too late. Maybe I don't know.
I get like, it's a journey. Sometimes I get like that.
And like,
how old are you?
35. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you're in a good school. You're in a good spot. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like, man, I started when I was like, what? 30. Then I said,
Okay.
30 is the time to really check it out.
Yeah.
I'm after the military. I've always wanted to do comedy.
Right.
I also want to be a scientist, but we're not working on both of those immediately. Science is going to take a little bit. I might
Right.
When I finally
You never hear about like a 40-year-old scientist emerging out of nowhere.
Right. That's going to take time. Won't be,
Like Neil deGrasse wasn't like 50 years old and decided to be a scientist.
Yeah. But that's going to take time. I'll be probably write my first actual dissertation discovery probably when I'm 80.
Right.
He cured the worst disease ever.
Right. I mean, but it can happen. I mean, like people always give me the example, like Colonel Sanders, Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh yeah.
You know, he kicked around for years. He got on. He like in his 50s.
Yeah.
Same with Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders.
You know, he was like damn near 70 years old when he discovered KFC. Look at it now.
Right.
You know, so.
And that's the thing, what I was saying. Trying to get to, they're telling me that things happen for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why at this level, you know, you have experience, you've done a lot of things.
Yep.
That's the difference.
Yep.
I mean, that was another thing in D.C. because I was like, man, I'm not even there. You know, I was like, because I had just wrote a best-selling book called The Lazy Man's Hustle. Sold over like 1,000 some copies as an independent self-published author. Wow. And I'm like, you know, I was cocky and I kind of didn't understand comedy is a different beast from motivational speaking and writing. And basically they're telling, I'm telling them, like, I just don't know, man. I feel like I'm not ready for this, man. Like, whatever. It's like, hey, man, you just ain't got the experience. That hit me hard. That's some real stuff. You just don't got the experience. Stop trying to rush it. Learn what you got to learn and just grow from that. So, you know, you're just proof of that, man. So thank you very much, man. Because,
indeed.
You are funny.
You have your moments where you think, like, man, because you get out there, like, I remember when I think I first seen you was at the Advocate. Devil's Advocate.
Oh, Devil's Advocate. Oh, yeah, that's
I was like, I got to be probably the oldest comic out here. Me and Ugly Duckling. We the only ones out here that's old. Like,
heck yeah.
But I mean, you know, that's the good thing about comedy, man. It's not age sensitive.
Right.
Because I mean, each level you got something to talk about.
That's true.
You know, when you're in your 20s, you can talk about farting, and when you're in your 40s, you can talk about failing. So everything is real, man. Yes, so you know, just your life.
Yeah,
you know, your life.
Mm-hmm. And have you seen like you talk about? I've seen your experience with you talk about your experience a lot on stage, and you make it hilarious. Did that take time or?
No, I went through it. It actually happened. These are real stories, man. Like, shoot.
But like to make it funny, I know people that just go there and just advocate, and this is what happened, and
right.
And this, you know?
I mean, like I said, you had to go through it because like a lot of I talk about relationships and stuff.
Yeah.
And I always tell like comics in relationships, like it's probably not a good time to talk about the relationship when you're in it.
Right.
I mean, especially if they're like I've seen comics talk shit about their wife and she's in the crowd. Like, I don't know. So now they looking at her crazy like, damn, you know, so usually after the fact it's a good time to kind of bring it out.
Right.
Because it makes it a little more appeasable because I mean people not judging you.
Yeah.
You know, then I'm like, hey, shit, I don't care. You know, hey, what you gonna do? You can't kill me,
right?
You're just a crowd. You can't kill me. I don't think, you know. So
right
nowadays, I mean, shit,
you're canceled. You're done.
Yeah, man. Like, shoot. So I just try to do that, man. You know, those are the things that made Richard who he was, and then you know, comedians like that, they talk about their life.
Oh yeah.
You know, and made it funny. You know, so I just do that. I mean, like I spend, I would say. 85% of my time alone.
Really?
So I mean, like I tell people, like if I ever get on the set and it's not going well, you'll probably see me say this. Like I'm an only child. I tell you jokes myself. You know, I ain't got no man. I was born only child, no brothers and sisters. So I'm used to talking to myself. Trust me.
Wow.
You're not gonna break me on that. But that's how it be, man. You just think about stuff and then you put it down and then you put it out there and then you see what happens.
Yeah, man, that's powerful. So
the worst they can do is not laugh. That's the worst they can do.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you call them out and you don't even know these people, so you can't call them out. Because you don't even know that person.
Right.
So I don't understand.
Why aren't you laughing?
Yeah.
That's mid-set. Like,
right.
I haven't seen that yet. I see people keep hitting the bag, but I see nobody ask that question. Hope that never happens to me.
I've seen that before, but I'm talking about like like if I'm talking about experience, it don't have nothing to do with you because I don't even know you. I'm talking about my life.
Oh, your experience.
If it triggers you, I can't help that.
No.
Just enjoy the show, man.
Yep.
You know, glad it ain't you talking about it.
Life's wild, yes, sir.
Exactly.
Like, you say I'm kind of off the wall when I do my stuff, so I don't know if I'm like relating. I mean, I know you're like a relatable person. It's like a time.
Here's my observation. I check. Like a lot of comments wouldn't think I watch they set.
Yeah.
And I really don't. But I mean, there are things like one thing I can know from you, and I kind of do this too, is like you lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes on the stage you stand as if you're still that same weight.
Oh, the big dude.
Yeah. Like I noticed that like he's talking about losing weight, but he's standing up there like he still has the weight on him. Move around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like grab the mic a little faster. Let them know I'm here. I lost this damn weight.
Yeah, right.
I used to tell people when I first lost weight, I was like, look, I'm about 20 pounds from doing my next show shirtless. So don't play with me. You know, confidence is up to the roof right there. So yeah, man, you know, just do that and then
that's the biggest punch right there. Thank you.
Right. Maybe like interact with the audience a little bit.
Okay.
And just kind of bring them into your world and then, you know, instead of like and this now we on this subject now between black and white.
Let's do that.
The reason I like doing both rooms. I've always, and I think part of that is my background in the military. Because before the military, we lived in a lot of neighborhoods, like black people my whole life. Which is normal in America. You know what I'm saying? My mother was a middle class person, so we lived in the hood.
Yeah.
So, you know, but when I got into the military, now I'm around all these different people. Like this is the first time I was my bunk mates were like white.
Really?
I never lived that close to white people.
Wow.
Never lived that close to Mexican people. Never lived that close to Asian people.
Yeah.
But now we on this ship out in the middle of the water, and you see everything. Like I know that white people sleep naked. I do know this. This is crazy. Like with all these men, you slept naked. They're not gay. They just the way they do. That's their thing.
Yeah.
You know, I know that us got to have lotion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
We got to have lotion. They got to have baby powder.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's how to see stuff. But it gave me an insight to everybody. So when I started doing comedy, it was nothing.
Yeah.
I can go in a room like that, and have the same response.
Right.
And then by the notion of I was still in the nation, I wasn't practicing. I lost my way a little bit. It happens. But I started off clean.
Okay.
So I can do clean. Naturally. It wasn't because, you know, when I first started doing comedy, you know, the tendency was to be like, yeah, fuck that bullshit. But at the same time, I knew how to not cuss. So now I just started applying it to the jokes. And now you make it funny without the words.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like I tell anybody that goes on stage and cuss, that's fine. But find a way to say it without the cuss words. And if it's still funny, it's a good joke. If it's not, then you might have to cut the joke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just gave me that. I always had that that's how I was able to get booked in Vegas. I had that mainstream appeal. You know what I'm saying? Likability. I learned like reading them books and all that helped me with that too because it's an art form.
Yeah.
People have to know that they're being appreciated and they know that you appreciate their time. You know what I'm saying? And that way you can kind of just be you. You start off with something relatable and then you take them down the road of your world.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like if it ain't nothing but call in the room, you know what I'm saying? If it's something going on in the room, hey, you know, boom, and then go into your stuff.
Right.
Well, if you come straight up there, so the square root of 32 is 17. Like, what the hell is this guy? What is he talking about? The what?
It's true.
You know, so, I mean, how long you been doing comedy?
5 years.
Oh, okay.
Well, not 5
okay.
years, 4 years.
4 years, okay, okay. But I mean, you're doing great things for 4 years. Like,
thanks, man.
You know, you got your own radio show. You all on the scene. You booked, man. I mean, hey, man, you're on the right path. It only goes up from here. They say it takes at least 10 years to like really start getting good.
Okay,
you know, sometimes less than that. It depends on the. There's a book called Outliers. You ever heard of that?
Oh no, no.
Outliers was written by Malcolm Gladwell. And it talks about time. And he said it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert. It's Outliers.
All right, I'm writing this down. Thanks, man.
And he talks about 10,000 hours. And this is why my own theory now is being applied. Don't mind this, but I feel like I agree with that point off the bat. That, if you do anything for 10,000 hours, you'll become an expert.
Yeah.
Now, what happens within, you hear comics, some do 5 years, some do 10 years. Well, what were you doing in that 5 years? What were you doing in that 10 years?
Right.
What were you doing? And I've seen comics that's doing 30 years on the mic and still doing a certain amount of shows.
Angie Austin and Michael Pilka Show.
If you didn't apply that 10,000 hour rule within the 30 years,
yeah, me too.
it's no wonder
if you can't
why
grow your own
you're
food,
alongside
that
that
seems
guy
to be a
doing
little
5
bit
years.
intrusive.
You are home. The Valley's News
You didn't
Talk
put
and
in the work.
Podcast.
Right.
Talk
You might have
Central
been
Phoenix.
calling yourself that for 10, 20 years.
Right.
But did you put in the time
Yeah.
inside your craft? You see what I'm
That's
saying?
wild. And
That's how some people go farther than others in a shorter time, because look what they were doing in that time. They were on stage every night, 2 or 3 times a night.
Yeah.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
If you go on stage 3 times a night consecutively for 6 months, it's only inevitable you're going to get better.
Correct. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to know what to do, what not to do, and how to do it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's a given. But if you do it in 6 months, you get up 3 times, you're not going to even, you know what I'm saying? That's why LA and New York are so strong, because there's something to do every night.
Every night, yeah.
And some of those guys get up 2 or 3, 4 times a night. Like, Godfrey was just here
Oh, really?
at the House of Comedy a while ago.
Didn't know that.
I've listened to him on, I'm a podcast nerd, man. I watch a lot of podcasts.
That's awesome, bro.
Because I like to hear these guys' story, man. Because the backstory was for me. You hear what they like, Rodney Perry, ex-Navy, stuff like that.
The one constant in life is change.
In New York,
throughout our lives,
they go up 4 or
we
5
will go
times a
down
night.
roads that we never imagined.
Like a lot of this, some
we need to
scenes,
be prepared
people
for
get up
whatever
once,
comes
that's
our
it.
way. Want to own your future?
I
Contact
can't
Country Financial
pinpoint what goes on in this
Representative
scene.
Andy Reyes.
But
We
I can see if a person only goes up one time, because hell, the mics
with
are spread
insurance
out.
solutions
Oh,
to
yeah.
help make
Like,
sure
you're gonna
you're
go
protected
from-
for what lies ahead.
from
Get
House of
started
Comedy
today.
all the way to
Contact Andy
JP's.
Reyes in
It's
Phoenix
about an hour and a
at
half drive. You know what I'm saying?
480-998-8195
Don't even factor in you
for
ride the
Country
bus.
Financial.
Like, it really gets crazy. But
Yeah, I have to get that time, man. I
but when
understand that.
then if you don't get a lot of time, maximize the time you do get.
Defending the mandate.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm Pam
get it,
Huso,
go. Get it,
Fox
go.
News.
You know what I'm
A
saying?
federal
Always be
court
trying
has
out new
blocked
stuff.
President Biden's
Building that set,
COVID-19
man. So,
vaccine mandate for large private companies, but the
Of course,
Department
the
of
writing
Justice
aspect,
says
but,
this
you
is
said
just the
something earlier
beginning
that
of the
really hit me, and I
process,
think I've
and it
talked
has
about this on a
plans to
couple
vigorously
episodes,
defend that
on my
mandate.
website,
We've had requirements in various settings in our country since the founding of the United States of America, including in schools since the 1800s, workplaces like hospitals have had requirements for vaccines for years. The military's had such requirements.
U.S. Surgeon General Dr.
always
Vivek
talk
Murthy
about
tells
how
Fox
people
News
put
Sunday
too
it
much
would be
in
a
the titles.
setback for public health if the
People
courts
call
continue to
themselves
block
comedians.
vaccine
yeah,
mandates.
not really putting the work
If you're
in to
unvaccinated
have that
in
title,
Austria,
you know
you'll be
what I'm
locked
saying?
down
So
starting
I'm
at
sure,
midnight.
just like
The
you said,
country
you've
is
seen that,
coping with
but
a surge
you've seen
in
that a lot, or
infections
kinda
and a
like-
growing strain on intensive
Well,
care units. The White House says the pandemic
everybody's
is to
a comedian
blame for
now.
the higher
Of course,
prices
everybody.
Americans
You
are
look
paying
like- you
for
look at the
groceries
timeline.
and gas. Senate
People that don't even
Republican
call
Ted
themselves
Cruz
comedians
tells
are trying
Fox
to be
this Sunday
funny.
Morning
This is-
Futures it's
I
not
get
that.
why
When you
the
spend
average
trillions of
comedian is
dollars,
having a
you
difficult
cause
time
inflation.
getting to the
Tomorrow,
next
President
level,
Biden
because
will
there's so
sign
much
a $1
comedy
trillion
now.
infrastructure
Like,
bill,
you know,
and he's
the
hoping
memes,
to
like,
sign in the near
I'm gonna
future
post a
an
while
even
ago,
bigger
like,
social
the
spending
internet is the
bill.
funniest comedian
What
in
was
the game right
supposed to be
now.
a day of
'Cause, I mean, the
celebration
memes are coming,
ended in
you know what I'm
tragedy
saying?
in
Like, whoever doing
Southwest
these memes
Virginia.
is
That's where a
killing the
police
game right
officer
now.
was killed
You know,
on his
so
29th
it's
birthday.
like,
In the early hours of Saturday morning,
I don't
Big
really
Stone Gap
focus
police
on that.
officer
Like,
Michael
I mean,
Chandler
you know,
was
you are who
conducting
you
a
are.
welfare
Right.
check
You
in an
know,
abandoned home.
I
Upon
would
encountering
allude
at
to,
least
like, the
one
scripture.
person inside, Chandler was
Pardon me,
shot.
I'm gonna go a
He
little
was later
scripture real
found
quick, but, like,
unconscious in a ditch and was
when
airlifted to a
Jesus
hospital.
was
The
among his
33-year-old
disciples,
suspect, meanwhile, was soon
and-
captured about 40
and he
miles
asked them,
away
"Who do they
in
say I am?"
Kingsport, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Fox's
You know, he didn't
Karen
really come out there and say,
McHugh.
"I'm Christ.
America's listening to
I'm
Fox
God,"
News.
or whatever. He just started doing the work. Yeah. So if you do the work, the gang will identify you.
Not running your business
That's
on
how I look at it.
NetSuite
You
is
know
like
what I'm
trying
saying?
to
Like, if
sink
you
a
are-
putt
if
with
you
a
are a
cap pulled
comedian,
over your eyes.
if you doing
NetSuite by
comedian
Oracle
things,
is the number
people
one
gonna
cloud
say,
financial
"That's that
system,
comedian
giving
right
you
there."
visibility
You see
and
what I'm saying?
control
So
of your
that's why I don't
financials,
get caught up in the
inventory,
titles, you know, just
budgeting, and
do the
more,
work and
all
the game
in
will
one
identify you.
place. 93% of surveyed businesses
Yeah, and
increase
that's,
their visibility and
have you seen
control
that kind
after
of relate to what
upgrading
you've
to
been doing? 'Cause I know you
NetSuite.
say
Over
you hit a lot of-
27,000
like a lot of
businesses
mics, a
already
lot of-
use NetSuite, and
Glad
right
you get
now,
it.
through the end of the
I mean,
year,
they were like,
NetSuite is
shows.
offering a
The
one-of-a-kind
difference between Vegas and
financing
here is more
program to those
concentrated.
ready to
Like I said,
upgrade
here,
at
it's almost wide open. I love it,
netsuite.com/Fox.
but at the same time, the drawback is
A prominent murder
Damn, you
case
can't
could
hit all
land
of
in
them
the
at
hands
once.
of a
Right.
Wisconsin jury
There's a
tomorrow.
podcast
Closing
going on right
arguments
now
are scheduled
at
in the
JP's.
Kyle
Yeah.
Rittenhouse
You know what I'm saying?
trial.
There's stuff
Last
going on,
year,
so
the teenager
you
shot
gotta
and
hit what you
killed two
can
men and
just-
injured a
just,
third
be in
during
the loop,
violent
but it's
protests that
beautiful. It's
broke
like a
out
lot of
after a
opportunity.
police shooting.
But Vegas is more
Prosecutors say
centralized,
Rittenhouse was looking for
and
trouble in
another thing
Kenosha.
out here
Defense attorneys say
is that the
it
shows
was
start a lot
self-defense.
Oh, okay.
Compromise on
the average
climate
show
was
in Vegas starts
achieved
like
at a
9 or
UN
10.
conference
9 or
in
10,
Glasgow,
okay.
Scotland,
Yeah, if it's
although
open
many
mic,
nations
we talking
feel
about
the
you won't get out of there till
watered-down
like 11,
deal
12.
doesn't go
like
far
I said,
enough.
So I
Regardless
was
of
used
the
to that.
multiple
I was used to late
challenges
show. That's all
every one
good.
of you have
But,
faced,
it's
you
just
have
like every day of the
shown
week,
your
there's something to do.
exceptional professionalism
Every day of the week,
and
depending on where you're willing to
dedication.
go.
Patricia
That's it. Are you willing
Espinosa
to go
is
to
the
Gilbert? Are you
conference's
willing to go to
executive secretary.
Phoenix,
Many
Scottsdale?
countries are
where you willing to
disappointed
drive
that
to?
India
You
requested
can
a
actually get a
change
stage
to
every night.
phase down
That's
coal
fine.
power
Yeah, that's true.
I
rather
did
than
notice
phase
that.
it out.
Yeah.
A group of House
Them
Republicans
drives,
made the
right.
trip to
Asking
Glasgow.
for time. I'm sure.
Louisiana
Right.
Republican
This one we
Garrett
gotta,
Graves says he
put
went to
name in
the
the bucket, hope you get
COP26
called.
summit with
Yeah.
GOP colleagues to send the signal.
That's
We're just
that's
so
one thing I do love
concerned about
Phoenix.
this narrative
Where I was
that is
at,
continuing to be
this,
pushed. That
my
the United
hometown, we had one mic. It was on a Friday, and you couldn't do comedy.
Wow.
They will stop you mid sentence.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, like when I went back home, more experienced, more weathered, I said, you know what? I said my joke about the fat cops. They hated that. I'm from like a hick town, so to be real honest,
okay.
they hated that joke. They even like yelled me off stage. And luckily, at my age, I could respond to it. You know, the 5-year-old could finally respond to it. And yeah, they still don't let us do comedy there. That's the point.
What's the city?
Leesburg, Virginia.
Leesburg.
So
I probably saw that, dude, because I was in Norfolk, right?
Norfolk, yeah.
And when you leave out of there on the Greyhound, you hit all those cities. Lynchburg. I remember those names. Roanoke.
Yeah.
Those names stick out. I remember the signs.
Yeah.
But like I was all over Virginia.
Oh yeah.
And then we went right over into. I went straight over to D.C.
Yeah. So yeah, you probably went through it.
Yeah. So I got to D.C. I think I switched buses at D.C.
Yep.
And then we went from D.C. to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, I seen Pittsburgh. I seen the whole country. Man.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy, man. But I'm pretty sure I did see Leesburg.
Yeah, that place was it's like a suburb of a DC.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say. I had to drive like an hour to even hit a mic when I started originally.
Right. See, I never had that problem.
Yeah,
I get
bro.
it.
An
I
hour and
get
a
it.
half. So yeah.
Yeah, you got to be creative.
Yeah.
Like if I was in that place, I would just like a buddy of mine. I don't know if you were here when he was here, Reggie Campbell.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, Reggie moved from here to Vegas, and he was a producer here.
Okay.
So when he got there, different scene. He didn't have access to the venues. He started one in his apartment.
Really?
He started a show in his apartment. It was live too,
Nice.
called The Loft.
The Loft.
So we used to do that one like every Friday, man.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Marsha Warfield got back in the game at that room.
Wow.
She's back going now, but she had been away for a while, and she came there to work out, man. Just
Really?
at his apartment, man. He had his little setup, had a little stage in the corner. He pushed the couches back.
Yeah.
And so we were doing it, man. And then somebody hated on him. And he came home one day and said it was a cease and desist thing on his door.
Oh.
One of the clubs came at him and it was like low-key hated, but it was a good vibe, man.
Yeah.
We could just be ourselves. We didn't have to, politic or nothing like that. It was beautiful, man.
That's good energy.
That'd be something I would do there at Leesburg. Like, hey, any comics in the area want to come through? I got drinks, and hey, let's do it in my house.
That's the part. I was at my parents. It was post-military, so I got spent some extra time with them for a little bit.
Right.
Like a year or two. Then I moved to Springfield, Virginia. That's like 15 minutes from D.C. And if I even tried to have that, I was in an Asian family's basement. So
wow.
doing that, yeah.
Wow.
So I've been some stuff I'm gonna work out eventually. So eventually I'm gonna write that down. But yeah, man. So,
Damn, Asian family's basement.
oh yeah, it really was like Vietnamese family's basement. Living in there.
I know that was a hell of a culture clash.
It was the room was probably about as big as this.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is how big as my room is now.
Yeah, bro. Almost as big as this. Yeah,
Dang.
man. So I was like, man, that's a good idea. I should have, but
Man,
I probably would have got hated.
Write that stuff down, man.
I probably would have got hated if I brought people in doing a mic in my
Man, but those
Fair,
experiences, me too, man. We take these things for granted, man, our life.
Yes.
Rest in peace, A.J. Johnson. Ezel from Friday.
Yeah.
I was watching him on a comedy documentary one time. It was called All Jokes Aside.
Yeah.
I watched this back when I first started doing comedy. Mm-hmm. But he was saying, this topic was joke thieves, right?
Joke thieves.
Okay. And he was like, man, I ain't worried about no joke thief because can't nobody steal my life.
Nope.
I was like, man, that was a nugget
at
that time. So I really got on that journey. Like, okay, the stuff I go through, I just started writing that. Rather than, you could do topical, current events, but those things, they time out or everybody's going to do it.
Right.
Like right now, I'm sure you can attest to this. You've been to a mic and you heard a Will and Jada joke.
Oh yeah.
You already know. When that stuff like that happens, you already know it's going to happen.
Yeah, topical, yeah. It's too easy.
Yeah.
I always call that
R. Kelly.
Low-hanging fruit.
Bill Cosby.
Do a twist.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not above it, but I mean, but all that stuff, man, is just like out there, but your life, man.
Totally different, bro.
The saying is comics say funny things, comedians make things funny.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? So Richard Pryor got on the mic and said, I suck dick. I was like, whoa. Who does that? Man, this dude did this in 1972, man.
Yeah.
Like, he just changed the game with that because no one was being that honest.
Yeah, real
You feel
honest,
me?
Man. But
that's crazy.
You know what? 100%. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. Off top, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you.
Tell us where to reach you, everything, man.
I'm on social media, Louis Bruce on Facebook, Instagram @It's Louis Bruce, Twitter @It's Louis Bruce, Cash App, Louis Robinson Jr.
Cash tag. I put the cash.
Hey, and also too, I noticed a trend about like with comedy. A lot of shows, you have to sell tickets.
Yeah.
I've never been a great ticket seller. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I just have to be honest. I mean, I've been terrible at that. But I had a revelation the other day. What if people that just supported you in general donated tickets?
Right.
Like if you see a comment come online saying that he got tickets, just because you can't go, that don't mean you can't send $20.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's not gonna break you to send $20. Maybe he can give that ticket to somebody that's in the town that can go but don't have the money.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We gotta really start supporting each other.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, especially the people that are not comedians. Mm-hmm. Like, if you really rock with a person that you think is funny, that's the best way you can show you support them. Mm-hmm. You ain't gotta like all they posts on Facebook or share their stuff. Share their shows, and if you can, buy a ticket or two.
Yeah.
Just donate them. You know what I'm saying? Just say, hey, if somebody that come to the door that maybe couldn't get in, give them a ticket.
That's awesome, man.
Because, I mean, hey, it's all about that. Filling them seats up.
Filling them seats, helping out, man.
Off the bat, off the rip.
Awesome stuff, bro.
Indeed, man.
Thanks for coming on.
Hey, man, thanks for having me, bro. Man, I appreciate you, man. Much success in your show and everything you do.
Man. Thanks, Dad. I need that positivity.
Right on, bro. That's all we do, man. That's all we do.
Yeah. And I want to thank y'all for tuning in to Crazy Positive Vibes here on Central City Radio, man. Shout out to them for having us on, man. Central City Radio. Visit centralcityradio.com. Download the app. There is an app for Central City Radio. They got a lot of great shows. I was listening to Chips and Salsa the other day. Fantastic show. Very intellectual. I learned a lot about, like, a lot of things, man. So definitely check that out. Don't forget to get your copy of Jottings of a Crazy Veteran. It's available wherever books are sold, Amazon, all over the place. Shout out to everybody, man. And also, thank you for tuning in to Crazy Positive Vibes. I've been your host, Durrell Hearns. Stay powerful, stay great, stay awesome, because that's what it's all about. And as always, much love.
All right.